I have invited Mimi back on the show. It's a solo episode, no Michael, to inspire everyone who is listening to live their best life in 2026. And let's just get the lay of the land. Last year was the year of the snake, which is shedding. And I felt that so much. We can get into that. What is this year and how can we embody what this year is?
So I'm no zodiac expert, but what I've been seeing online is this year is the year of the horse, which apparently is an amazing year for big moves, momentum, all of the action that you've been taking actually start to, bear the fruits of your labor, big moves happening. Last year with the year of the snake, I totally feel you. We were just talking off air. It really felt like this slow, excruciating, shedding in a way.
What were you shedding?
For me, gosh, just old identities. And I've done work on myself for a decade, Lauryn, you know that. There's always something to step into, the next level. And I feel like with my business, with, people in my life, that shedding. And now there's this fresh 2026 energy that I just know every single person listening right now is just ready to stop settling and finally step into that person that you want to be in 2026, because there's the opportunity right now. The energy is there.
I think what I'd like to do with this episode is you have 9 ways to upgrade your life. And I think just both of us sharing maybe with each step how we're going to embody that step ourselves.
Exactly.
And hopefully the audience will get some tangible takeaways. I know that a lot of you guys love when Mimi comes on because you say you're taking notes because she has so many really practical tips and tricks. So I think you'll like this episode. It's a great way to start the new year. So what is the first step to transform our lives?
So we prepared these 9 steps to stop settling and finally start being who you want to be in 2026 with kind of fresh new tips in mind. Everyone here has heard all the basic personal development stuff, I'm sure. So these 9 points really, really bring all of this fresh energy that you can really start tangibly taking action on right now. We really wanted this to be tangible. So the first tip is stop waiting to feel ready. So many of us just wait for this perfect moment. Okay, we have this analysis paralysis. We can't take action until the perfect moment arises. But that is literally holding us back more than anything else. We have to stop waiting until we feel ready. We have to take that first move today, now, before we're ready, before it's this perfect moment, because that perfect moment doesn't exist. So I don't know about you, but in my life, I have felt that I've had to take a step back sometimes and actually analyze why I'm not taking the actions I need to take. Have you felt that too?
It's funny that when you're saying this, I have a project that I'm tackling and I keep putting it off, putting it off. And finally with the new year, you're like, I'm doing it. And what I've realized in the last month is the way to approach this is bite size. I was overwhelming myself being like, I need to work on this for 4 hours a day. And what I've realized is, and this is my therapist, ChatGPT, told me, it's like, Lauryn, you just need 45 minutes.
Yes.
And today I did 20 minutes in the morning and I'm going to do 25 minutes tonight. But that has helped me reframe it. What about you?
Yeah. So I've realized that in my own life and in everyone's lives, comfort is the most expensive addiction we all have.
Yep.
And we want to stay comfortable. It's in our instincts. We're human beings. It's primal inside of us to want safety, to want comfort. But we need to override that instinct inside of us if we want to change our lives, because we need to remember that if we want to change something, we need to change something. We can't expect a better life without changing something, right?
So give an example of what you mean. Let's say there's someone listening that wants a new job.
Okay.
What do they do?
Well, first of all, they analyze where they are and how they are not happy with their current job. Clarity, that's the first step. And then they need to have a vision of what their lives could look like, what this future job could look like. Have some sort of idea, because then the road clears in front of you and you know where you're going.
I love the word clarity too, because if you mix clarity with vision, that's such a good foundation to start.
Yes.
So then would you say like do bite-size amount every day? Like what would you like to work on it, put out your resume? What would you say something tangible for the audience?
Yes, absolutely. Take some sort of action. That fluffy, okay, I'm just going to do a vision board. No, actually do something that generates a action that will bring you one step closer. We often just stay in this comfort of like, okay, I'm going to do the vision board. I'm going to think about what I want. Even if you have that clarity, you're still not taking that first step because you are stuck in this inaction, this analysis paralysis, okay, of like analyzing when the perfect moment is and just not taking that first step.
I feel like it's also sometimes, and this has happened to me, is you feel like you're almost a forever student.
Yes.
And I'll give you an example. Before I started this show, I studied up on interviewers. I was reading Larry King's book. I was reading Barbara Walters' vintage books on how to talk to anyone. I was really throwing myself into all these other interviewers' experiences. And if I had just kept reading and consuming all of this content and not actually taking action, you kind of have to just throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
Exactly. That's been my motto my whole life, Lauryn. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what sticks. And yes, you're going to get some fails. That's inevitable. But you need to understand that with success comes failure. Just putting yourself out there and taking action is something that most of us actually don't do because we're scared that it's not the right time. We're scared that we're going to fail. We have to get up and go. If anything, this year, 2026, is the year that you get up and take big moves. So you need to ask yourself, where in my life am I feeling too comfortable? Where in my life do I feel like I'm settling? Okay? Everyone really needs to understand deep down where they feel like they are meant for more.
So it's almost like a self-inventory.
Exactly. It's an inventory of every pillar of your life. In my book, I talk about the 5 pillars: mental, physical, financial, spiritual, and social. Everyone has those 5 pillars that they can audit at any time in their life. So everyone listening, if you haven't done this already in the beginning of the year, you need to audit these 5 pillars of your life: mental, physical, financial, spiritual, and social.
I think for me, my biggest issue, if I look back, is that I get too romantic of what the environment should be. Meaning like if I'm supposed to write something,
yeah,
I envision myself with the candle and the bossa nova in the perfect office with the bow, and it has to be silent and I can't have interruptions. And like what I've realized is sometimes you just got to pull the laptop out when you're on a plane or whatever it is, you got to just make it work. That's why the 45-minute rule has been really great for me with just putting a little bit of energy every day. I do this with my kids at home. Instead of getting everything messy and then picking everything up at once, I'll just kind of clean as I go throughout the whole day so that I'm not overwhelmed by the end of the night. Mm-hmm. It's not always some romantic setting all the time. I have to get over that.
Yeah, no, it's so true. And I'm like you. I love to romanticize life. And there's such a beauty in that. We should hold on to that. But at the same time, we should also be okay. Yeah, executing. I'm actually, one of my personal goals for 2026 is to journal every day, even if that's one sentence.
And how long do you give yourself to journal?
It has changed. So for example, this morning I had a very slow morning, so I journaled for like 30 minutes. Okay?
I was going to ask you how long you did activations this morning before the show, because on the first show, you told me 45 minutes. I'll never forget that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I was so nervous the first time I ever came on. This is like 3 years ago.
I found that so interesting because at the time I think I could only meditate like 10 minutes. So what did you...
Well, activating, I think, is something that you crave to do because...
It gets you excited.
It gets you, yeah. So as...
It's like a nervous system reset.
Yeah. As you know, meditation is designed to calm you and just to really calm your nervous system and, help you think about nothing. But activations helps inspire you and energize you and makes you feel like you're the main character of your life. So
did you do a long one today or a short one?
I did a 15-minute one called, it's kind of my go-to.
Which one?
It's called Become Your Magnetic Future Self. And I also did one right before called Embody Magnetic Manifestation Energy and Feel Alive.
Because there's short little bite-sized ones too.
So there were 2. One was 10 minutes, one was 15 minutes. And it's so funny, Lauryn, because I actually look back to the first interview that we did together back, whatever, 4 years ago.
So long ago.
And I was so nervous for that because I hadn't done a lot of podcasts. And I remember being like, okay, I need to get into my energy. I prepped so much for it. But now I woke up and I'm like, I've changed as a person because the more work I've done on myself, I don't get nervous for things.
Your identity is different.
Yeah. I'm like this. I'm meant to do shows. I'm meant to do interviews.
Yes.
I'm meant to have a multi-million-dollar business. I'm meant to have a beautiful relationship.
You step into it.
You just become her.
Yep.
And I think when I did my first podcast with you, I was still in that gray area between like who I was and who I wanted to be. And I fully feel like I am who I want to be now. And it's funny that we do an episode like every 2 years because you see that evolving.
Yeah. I think that's cool. Okay. So we got that one checked. What is the next thing we can do?
Okay. The next thing that you can do this year to stop settling and to finally become who you want to be is start saying no to what is not aligned. And this obviously includes things like, start saying no to mindless scrolling or stop saying no to eating junk and overspending, like all those things that we all know are, quote, bad, okay? This doesn't just include that. This also includes the things that we actually think are healthy that just don't align with us
like
on
what?
A soul level. Okay, so I'll give you an example. When I first started my personal development journey, you know that I tried meditating and it just didn't stick with me. I felt every day that it was one of those things that I added to my to-do list that I just wouldn't check off half the time. And that's because my soul was telling me, maybe this isn't aligning with this phase of my life. This phase of my life was all about achievement and becoming the next version of myself in a really energized way. I wasn't looking to close my eyes and calm my body. I was looking to find discipline and motivation and energy with my eyes open. So I actually had a complete revelation at this phase in my life, 8-9 years ago when I first decided to stop meditating and start activating instead, where I listened to that little gut feeling inside of me thinking, okay, like I know meditation is good for me and a lot of successful people do it, but it just doesn't feel resonant right now because I want to change something big in my life. And I needed an audio to help me feel that like intense energy.
Change your state.
Yeah, I needed to change my state radically. Yeah. I didn't want to think about nothing. I wanted to be my future self. So this was an example that honestly changed the entire trajectory of my life. I opened my mind and I thought, okay, you know what? Maybe meditation is not resonating with me for a specific reason. So I tuned into my intuition and I started listening and actually creating my own activations. And that was the start of the brand that I have. And I can't even think about where I'd be today if I didn't listen to that little intuitive ping.
So if you're saying if there's something healthy that everyone perceives to be as healthy,
but it's just not working for you.
Yeah.
So meditation obviously works for so many people. So keep doing that. But if you feel deep down that there is a practice, whether it's a personal development practice or a way of eating, a diet that everyone says is amazing that just doesn't actually feel good for you, give yourself permission to stop doing those things that are not aligned. And maybe it's even a relationship or a partner that, you're with this good guy and everyone's saying he's good and it's good, but deep down you have that feeling like maybe this is not the right relationship for you. This can be translated into any area of your life, from your health to your relationships to your personal development practice. Stop saying yes and start saying no to the things that do not feel aligned.
For me, if it's not a yes right now, tomorrow, it's a no.
Mm-hmm.
And so an example would be like, let's say I was invited to a networking event and it's in 2 months.
Yeah.
I say to myself, do I want to do this today or tomorrow?
It's a great tip.
And if it's a no, then it's a no. Because you think, in 2 months, I don't know, maybe, I'll want to go. Like, if it's a no, it's a no, it's a no, it's a no across the board.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that sounds cutthroat, but it's just, I also weigh it against is this worth being away from my kids?
It's a beautiful one.
And if it's not, no. No is a great word.
No is a great word.
Yeah.
Because
really
think about how many things you're saying yes to when you say no.
Yeah. I also think this is like a random thing, but sometimes there's also too many cooks in the kitchen. And what I mean by that is, I don't know, let's say that you have a masseuse and you have another body worker and you have another body worker and there's too many opinions in the kitchen. I think sometimes refining the opinions and just having a go-to, like one of my examples is like I have a trainer who that's my trainer. I'm not getting 20 different opinions. I'm not having 20 cooks in the kitchen. We're working together. And I think that could be applied to activations, meditations, wellness, anything you're letting into your life. It's too overwhelming when there's too many options on the menu.
Yeah, stick to one thing, do it really well. But really the message behind this point number 2 is connect with yourself, listen to your intuition. If you keep telling yourself, oh, I have to, do this certain diet because everyone says it's the healthiest, but it doesn't actually intuitively feel good for you. Maybe eating more carbs feels good for you, or if it's a high protein diet or vice versa, whatever it is, just tune into your intuition. It's not a one size fits all approach. Everything in life it's not one thing for everyone.
I love it.
Okay.
That kind of happened to me with when everyone years ago went vegan.
Oh my gosh. I know. Same. I did it for a while.
Not right for me.
I know. I was a full, when I was a teenager, I didn't eat meat.
But for me, looking back, I'm like, you hear a narrative all the time and you hop on board. And now the way I eat is the way I'll eat forever. I'm not.
Because you feel so good.
I feel the best. So I think that is really good advice, especially for the year of the horse.
Exactly. And
we love the year of the horse.
We love the year of the horse. Big things are happening in the year of the horse. Big energy. It feels fresh, exciting, just full of potential. And that's the energy that I love to live in, that potential feeling.
What's 3?
Okay.
I love living in the potential.
I know. Me too. It's aliveness is what I'm addicted to. That feeling of aliveness. So for me, what I like to focus on most is things that just make me feel alive. That's my thing. Does this give me aliveness or does this numb me?
I love it.
Okay, so number 3, get ultra clear on who you're becoming. Because most people never achieve their best life, their best potential life, because they simply don't even know what they want, where they're headed. Just not knowing in itself is holding you back. So if you can't right now take out a piece of paper and write out exactly what you want in your life, you need to do some work on getting clarity, okay? It is so important to get crystal clear on who you want to be. Not just the life that you want to live, not just the house that you want to live in, but who you want to be, the version of you that gets to live that life.
I think where you could go wrong with this is that a lot of people think about what they don't want.
Yeah. Yes.
And the shift there is huge. The last 5 minutes before you lay your head on the table or on the bed, if you're thinking about all the things you don't want to happen the next day, shift that to what you do want. Yes. What I like to do with this is I keep a notepad by my bed. And before I go to bed, if I have just 5 minutes, I write down everything I want to happen. And I really do this in the new year all the time. And sometimes, you guys, it's the same stuff over and over and over on different pads of paper. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's going to ChatGPT and having my lock screen on the back of my phone screenshotted. And sometimes it's in my to-do list. And sometimes it's in a vision book or a vision board. I just keep writing over and over what I want to happen. And I think that the shift is if you're just thinking about what you don't want to happen all the time, it's wasting your capacity.
It's also training your brain to see more of that. And I actually, one of my favorite points on this list is number 8. And I cannot wait to get to that because I have so much on reprogramming the subconscious and how it is one of the most important things that you can do this year. But what I want to say with number 3 is the thing that you can do right now that is a very actionable tip that all of us can do after this episode is sit down with a piece of paper and write out exactly this vision of your future self, the version of you that you want to be. And you can just free write this. You don't need anything. This is a free exercise that anyone...
romantic.
You don't need to be romantic about it. You can have messy handwriting. You can just sit down with your journal and write. Writing is so powerful because it actually puts your thoughts on paper. Just thinking about something is difficult to tangibly put into action because it doesn't exist other than in your mind. So sit down and write the 5 pillars I spoke about in point number 1: mental, physical, financial, spiritual, and social.
So let's turn this on you. You are where you are right now, married, you have your dream business, you're doing things on your own terms. What did you look like 3 years ago when you wanted this?
Yeah, well, I was in the process of creating it 3 years ago. I just had to keep trusting, just fully keep trusting in this work that I believe in deeply, the work that I teach. I had to keep believing in it, that I knew if I kept showing up as my future self and doing the things that I, deeply believe I should be doing that are aligned with my future self, then I will get there. Like I mentioned to you, I was living in this gray area. We all do, between, with one foot into who we were and one foot into who we want to be, and this kind of like, in between. And that's a beautiful place to be in, because it means you're changing, right? So for me, 3 years ago, I would wake up and feel really good a lot of the days, and I'd feel like my future self. But then I'd also have days where I'd feel like the old self. And then the more that I commit to this work, the more that I work on myself, and I deeply believe that this is the life that I'm meant to be living, that this is the business that I am meant to be owning, that this is the life that I'm destined to have, the more that this life continues to build and surprise me. It's just who I am. It's how I live. It's my destiny.
You really have changed your identity. And It's cool. You are right. It's cool to see you every couple years, because you get to see it live.
You're watching my transformation.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like you really embody it.
Thank you.
What is the next tip?
All right. Tip number 4 is be her now. This is my version of Nike's Just Do It. Because I love to simplify transformation. That's my favorite thing. On all of the podcast interviews I do, in my book, in my activations, my biggest thing is simplifying transformation, because I was once a girl that had nothing, that wanted everything. And how did I get there? I had to figure out along the way what worked. And I realized that the simple things actually work the best. And if you want to simplify all of transformation, personal development, becoming who you want to be into 3 words, all you need to do is be her now. Okay? Be the version of you that you want to be. That's your next book. That's Imagine.
No,
okay.
That is your next book.
Yeah, maybe. I have not even thought about that yet.
Great title.
It is a great title. It's so simple. And these words came to me actually because, like you said, you'd have, the background screen on your phone, and you'd remind yourself of these things that you wanted and the thoughts you wanted to embody. That's what I would do, at the beginning of my journey. I'd have Post-it notes on my bathroom mirror, behind my phone case, on my water bottle, saying, be her now. Because that's all it is.
You have to find those Post-it notes and make that your next book.
I know. I actually really should.
It's like a Post-it note on the book. Like it's an actual
no,
book.
You're right. That's such a good idea.
We need that book. I love Be Her Now. So when you say that, that's obviously easy for the audience to hear, Be Her Now.
Yes.
But how do they actually apply it and do it at home?
So once you have clarity, like we spoke about in the previous point, the only thing that you then need to focus on fully is embodying that future self energy in everyday moments, okay? Being her, embodying her, feeling what it feels like to be that version of you that you desire to be. How can you expect to create that life if you can't even get familiar with how it feels to live that life? It is so deeply important to start exposing yourself to those feelings, those emotions, those potentials. And being her now is so radically simple. All you need to do is embody your future self energy in everyday moments, while you're grocery shopping, when you're in line at the grocery store, okay? Instead of scrolling on your phone and staring at it, how about you look up and fix your posture and embody your future self energy? How would it feel to be the most confident, successful, happiest, healthiest version of you? It is so simple. It is radically simple. Don't overcomplicate it. So many of us overcomplicate this world of self-transformation. It is so radically simple. How does it feel? And be her now in this exact moment. Try it on. Familiarize yourself with the energy of your future, okay?
Great tip. When I started this show, I decided that every interaction that I have would be a performance. And that's really, it's almost like what you're saying in a different font.
Yes.
But like whether I was in an Uber or I was getting my groceries or I was meeting someone at the dry cleaner, I would like almost not interview them, but give like a mini interview to practice and hone in
just who you were,
what I was trying to do. And it started to become that.
Yes.
And I noticed that I liked it a lot better than just not having that sort of connection. And I think it's really helped refine me as an interviewer on the show. So I love that tip. And I think that's really smart, instead of just being on your phone looking down. And there's like, that's a hard energy, and we've all done it. So like, it's a hard energy to just be always staring at your phone like Ichabod Crane. You want to like, it's time, we got to look up.
And listen, the truth is that there are thousands of people that work in these big companies like at Meta that are their sole job is to make this product more addictive to you. TikTok, Instagram Reels, they have thousands of staff members trying to get you addicted to this.
Yeah.
So something I do is I have like these app blocking apps.
What is it? Is it Opal or Blink?
Opal.
Opal. Okay.
Yeah, but I think there are some I pay for it. I think you can get free ones too.
Okay.
I have like 10 minutes a day limit on social media.
I love that.
Yeah. And I think, and I put the highest.
But it blocks you out?
It blocks you out, but you have to do the highest one that you can't get out of, because there's like levels. You could like either wait 10 seconds to then open the app.
No.
You need to be really quite cutthroat with yourself, because you're going to notice. I actually took 8 months off of social media, like the year before, like just after I was on your podcast last, so a year and a half ago. And it was pretty life-changing, just getting out of this numbness. There is this numbing feeling you get when you mindlessly scroll. And it doesn't just affect you when you're scrolling. It affects you after. Even when you put your phone away, you don't feel clear.
It's so true. And I don't think people have had a boundary conversation around the phone with themselves. I think that's one of the most important conversations you can have with yourself.
Yeah.
It's like dealing with an addiction. It's the first step
really
is being aware.
Yeah.
And listen, we've all done it. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I have learned over the last 10 years of how to manage it and how I want to show up as a mother with it. Like you have to be thoughtful about it.
Yeah. And most people will just say, oh no, maybe next time, or okay. I actually have had people in my life where I'm like, you just try this for a week, like get one of these app blocker apps. And they're like, oh, but I don't even go on that much. I'm like, yes, you do. We all do. We tell ourselves these lies because it is so addictive. It's actually crazy. If you look at these like brain scans, it will show how it's just as addictive as some of these other crazy drugs. And I think we're living in an epidemic right now when it comes to screen time. This is totally kind of just, not on the list, but really it's so important that we limit and we restrict our screen time, because when you look at your life in dots, I actually saw this guy do a TED Talk. It was like, all these dots on a screen of every week of your life. And he showed, okay, if you're 30 years old, you've already used up X amount of dots. And it was like a third. You're like, whoa, okay. And then, if you work, that work is going to take up X amount of these dots, and it's like taking up more. And then you have to eat and run errands. That takes up a few more dots. And then you have this limited amount of free time. And at the rate that society is going in right now with screen usage, like 95% of that free time was used up by screens, TV, phones. And then you only have this tiny amount left to actually live and do the things that give you joy. That scared the shit out of me.
It is scary. And like, the TikTok thing of just scrolling at these short clips, I feel like it trains your brain to just watch that.
It fries your dopamine receptors.
I've talked about this on the show before, but I got pregnant with my third baby, and I logged onto TikTok right when I got pregnant, and something like, I swear, like energetically from the baby was like, you don't need this for your pregnancy. And I never went on. I just was sending to my team to post for me, and I just never went on again.
Good for you.
And now it's been 7 months later, and I still don't feel a need to go on. And I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, because I have not been perfect with the phone. Like, I just am sick. And I don't know if you feel like this too, of everyone feeling like they have access to you all the time. Like, it's not normal. It's just not normal. back when there was a telephone and that was it, there wasn't access all the time. And I don't want to have to log on and respond all the time, all day long. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
And I think the boundary starts with you. Like in the morning, are you waiting until a certain time to get on your phone?
Yeah.
At night, like I don't want the fucking phone in my bed. To be honest, a lot of my work is on the phone. I don't want to look at the phone.
No.
It disgusts me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Same.
and it's like I said, it's been an imperfect relationship. I'm not perfect at it, but I have found after being off TikTok for 16 months that it's liberating.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need to be on my phone at dinner. I don't need to be on my phone when I'm, walking around. It feels like fresh,
It feels so fresh, and we need time to be bored. Like
100%.
your brain needs to rest. We can't be stimulated at all times. So, we all have to remember that this being her now idea really helps us step out and look at our lives and actually realize that transformation doesn't happen in this big moment one day.
Yeah.
Transformation happens in these tiny moments throughout your day, throughout your life. It's not some day on the calendar 6 months from now where you're finally going to transform. No, it happens in these tiny moments throughout your day. Even if it's 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, that is how real change compounds.
I totally agree with you. It's that little man that's like digging.
Exactly.
And he's digging and he's
yes.
almost to the diamond, and you just see his little digs every day.
Yeah.
It's little reps every day. That is what real transformation is.
And how can you make those little digs and those things actually feel good so you want to do them?
Yes.
That's the big question.
Light a candle and put some bossa nova on.
Yeah, romanticize it.
I love it.
Connect with your aliveness.
Yes, agreed. What is the next one?
So point number 5, you're going to love this one.
Can't wait.
And it's habit stacking, but not just for productivity, okay? Think about it in a different way. We all know that habit stacking is very efficient, but it's actually neuroscience in action, okay? So when you're habit stacking certain positive habits, like, for example, every morning for 10 minutes when you're going on your morning walk with the dog, okay, if you start to listen to something inspiring, visualization focused.
Your walking activation.
Okay, like
That's
a walking activation.
No, that's a good one to listen to when you're pushing the baby in the stroller.
I know you love those ones.
I love the walking one.
The walking category is my just hyperfixation at all times.
Yeah, I like the walking
honestly,
ones.
there's something about listening to an activation while you're in this
Moving.
forward momentum. You just feel like you're transforming with every step. You're setting yourself up for just real success here.
But it's also, to me, it's you throw on some iPads, you get to connect with maybe you have a kid, maybe you have a baby. For me, I get to walk my baby, and then you get a little sunlight. That really is like a healthy habit stack.
It really is. So you're walking, you're getting sunlight, and let's say you listen to a 10-minute walking activation every morning. Soon enough, you won't even need that walking activation to feel confident, abundant, inspired when you're doing your morning walk. So it's kind of like the modern take on Pavlov's dog, right? Pavlov rings the bell, the dog salivates, a external stimuli with a physical response. We're doing the same thing with ourselves when we listen to something like an activation mixed with while we are doing an everyday activity we do daily. So whether that's walking the dog for 10 minutes in the morning, whether that's, brushing your teeth. We actually had a user write in a few months ago saying, okay, I use the app in a really weird way, but it's actually changed my life. She said that she listens to a 2-minute pep talk activation every morning when she brushes her teeth. She just puts it on, and when the activation is done, she's done brushing her teeth. And she looks at herself in the mirror when she does it.
It's amazing.
And she said that 2-minute habit stack, I guess that is a habit stack, right? Because it's brushing her teeth. That 2-minute habit every day has radically changed how she feels about herself, her confidence. Her big thing was wanting to make more money. So she noticed that she actually had the confidence to ask her boss for a meeting. She went in and confidently spoke about how she's been performing. She was prepped and she felt like she wanted a raise and that she adds this amount of value to the business. And on the spot, the boss gave her like an insane raise. Okay.
Smart girl.
Yeah. So she didn't have that confidence before. She had to train herself to feel that way. And in the morning too, it's just an amazing time to do this conditioning work. So classical conditioning is what that's called, is habit stacking, really takes advantage of this classical conditioning where you pair new thoughts and new identities with an everyday action, like brushing your teeth, walking the dog, getting ready in the morning.
What's one that you do?
Okay, so like I mentioned, the walking ones are my favorite because I walk the dog every single day.
Okay.
And listen, sometimes I'm not in the mood to like do personal development. Sometimes I like to walk and listen to nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to walk and listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
And activations is just a new type of audio that you can listen to in your daily life, just like podcasts, audiobooks, music. It's the same kind of thing. So sometimes I am in the mood to listen to a walking activation if I want to feel like I'm the main character of my life, like everything is happening exactly as it should, like I'm exactly where I need to be.
I think too, monitoring what the content is that's around you. So for me, I don't want to listen to a gossip podcast in the morning.
No. Yeah.
If I'm going to listen to a gossip podcast, I've got to be in the mood. Maybe a Saturday on the way home from the gym, like maybe like a little Juicy Scoop by Heather McDonald. But like I like in the morning, I want to be uplifted.
Yes.
I think it's important to pay attention to how you're, like you mentioned, how you want to feel from the audio experience that you're using.
What you're consuming.
Yeah.
So habit stacking can be listening to a business podcast while you're driving to your job that you want to quit because you want to start your own business. You know what I mean? It could be as simple as even putting a scoop of collagen in your morning coffee because you know that the protein will help balance your blood sugar and you just feel better. Like it's those little things that just help you treat yourself with love, right? So using that to your advantage is a big theme for 2026, habit stacking, because it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. How can you work smarter in 2026? Do a little bit less work, but see more results. Habit stacking is a huge one.
Okay, I am someone who gets a little nervous when it comes to labs. You guys know this. I get nervous about blood, but there's this company called Superpower who made it really, really easy for me. So what I did was I booked my lab in 15 minutes and I had my blood tested for 100 plus labs in one blood draw, which for me is a huge deal. It didn't have to be like a whole to-do. I didn't have to go anywhere. It was from the comfort of my own home, and you get your results within a week. And what I like about it is it's efficient. So like I said, you get 100 plus labs in just one blood draw. For me specifically, I wanted to balance my hormones and make sure everything was good on that end, especially after being postpartum. I know Michael was checking all his labs. He's so interested, obviously, in like energy and slowing aging and longevity. So maybe you think you're premenopausal, maybe you're in menopause, maybe you need hormone replacement therapy, but you're not getting the answers that you want. You want real data, you want a plan, and that's what Superpower does. So many times women are told it's just stress or it's just aging, or they like make you feel like you're imagining a symptom. It could be like your energy's off. So I think it's really good to be able to have an actionable health plan. And Superpower does that for you. They give you targeted supplement recommendations, nutrition guidance, and they even give you your true biological age to see how your body is actually functioning. Make this the year you stop guessing about your health with Superpower. Not only did Superpower reduce their price to just $199, but for a limited time, our listeners get an additional $20 off with code SKINNY. Head to superpower.com and use code SKINNY at checkout for $20 off your membership. After you sign up, they'll ask how you heard about them. So make sure you mention this podcast to support the show.
Quick break to talk about Kion Aminos. Lauryn and I have been taking Kion Aminos for close to a decade now, and here's why. Kion Aminos delivers all 9 of the essential amino acids in the exact ratio your body needs to build and repair muscle. More so than that, if you're not getting enough protein throughout the day, this is a great way to supplement to make sure your body's getting the nourishment it needs. Lauryn and I, every single time we go to the gym, we pack our waters with the Kion Aminos. We take them throughout the day. If we're traveling and we know we're not going to be eating as well as we normally would, we use the Kion Aminos as a supplement. Research has shown that it's up to 6 times more effective than whey or food-based proteins gram for gram. So if you want to support muscle building, which everyone should, and you want to boost your metabolism, starting with Kion Aminos is essential, especially if you're around age 30, because at age 30, you lose muscle every single year and our bodies get less efficient at utilizing the essential amino acids found from whole food protein, and Kion Aminos is the best way to maintain strength and stay toned as we age. This is for men and women, all genders. Everyone should be taking amino acids, and most importantly, should be taking all 9 of the essential amino acids. We've had Angelo, the founder of Kion, on this podcast multiple times to talk about how incredible this product and supplement line is, and we have not looked back ever since. So if you're looking for muscle tone, if you're looking to build strength, if you're looking to have more fat loss or faster recovery and consistency, Kion Aminos is a great option for you. Like I said, we take it every single day when we work out, when we're not working out, when we're traveling, we keep it in the office. My favorite flavor is their mango, but they also have this watermelon one that's great. They have berry and they also have lime. All of them are incredible. Sugar-free, non-GMO, vegan, super easy to digest. Just mix it in water and it actually tastes great. It gives your water that extra like zazz, that zing that you want. So check them out. Visit getkion.com/skinny for 20% off. Again, that's getkion.com/skinny.
Legacy box. I am obsessed with preserving my aging home movies, my camcorder tapes, my film reels, my photos, even slides. My dad did like a whole preservation situation for me, but it was really hard. So enter Legacy Box. I am stepping up the game for my 3 kids. Legacy Box started when 2 college kids realized something simple but universal. If people couldn't even set the time on their VCRs, how are they ever going to rescue the irreplaceable memories trapped on aging tapes? So they launched Legacy Box. This is such an easy way to preserve all of your things. So you simply order a Legacy Box, take a few minutes to fill it out, and then Legacy Box takes care of the rest. They save the moments that define our lives, which is so important. I'm so nostalgic about my own childhood, and I want my kids to feel the same way. Legacy Box helps you reclaim the memories before they literally fade away. More than 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. It is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. Guys, you know I'm going to say it. What this saves you really is time. We all want to save time, and this makes it really seamless and easy to integrate into your life, and you can have everything organized, especially for your kids. This is truly white glove memory preservation. Visit legacybox.com/skinny for 55% off. That's legacybox.com/skinny to save 55% off when you digitize your memories. I have to get so creative with these children.
Okay, tell me about it.
Like I gotta do the vibrating plate
Yes.
while I'm listening to an activation,
With the
while
red
I'm
light.
brushing my teeth with the red light,
Yes.
with the window open to get some sunlight.
Yeah.
And what I've realized the best way, if you have kids, this is my opinion, is you have to include them. So I'm just like, get on the vibrating plate with me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go for a walk. My son was laying on the red light bed with me the other day, meditating, like whatever it is, like you just include them in what you're doing.
Such a hack.
And honestly, I will put on an audio experience like an activation when I'm on a walk with my 3-year-old. And I'll still interact with him and talk with him, but it's in the background subconsciously. I think like sometimes it's never going to be like a perfect morning when you have kids. You have to kind of just roll with it.
Yeah.
And make it work.
Yeah. And that's why we have so many moms that use the Activations app. My head of brand that I was mentioning to you off air, she is a mom of 3 and she knows. So she actually helps script some of the activations now. And she is like, I love her writing because it is so practical, pragmatic. She's written all of our new like challenges and money series that we just launched on the app. And I like her perspective because it's less like, you know, a lot of the stuff that I've written for the app, it's very big, like big visualization, like millions of dollars, like bad, like that. That's just me. But she's like, okay, here are the practical things that you can do today. So it's very nice having other script writers now. Yeah. So
you're like the visionary.
She knows. Yes, exactly.
What is the next one?
Number 6, change your self-image and change your life.
Yep.
Stop relying on discipline.
Ooh.
Because when you go and actually look at your identity, your self-image, that's the reason why you haven't created the life that you want to live. Discipline comes and goes.
Agreed.
You need to rewire your identity.
But that's why your habit stack one is so smart, because you almost do it without even thinking about it. And so there's no discipline that really goes into it. It's just you think about it.
And you're enjoying it. This is why things like activations, things like journaling, just it makes you feel good. You don't need to do it the quote hard way. This is more effective too. So the thing about discipline is that it comes and goes. You can't rely on it.
No.
I spent years trying to rely on discipline and I didn't change. Or if I did change, it was for a moment of time and then I went back to the old self.
And my whole career is built on habit stacking when you say it like that.
Yeah.
If anyone who thinks I'm more disciplined than anyone who's listening, I'm not. I'm not more disciplined than anyone. I just do. And I didn't even know that distinction until you just said that. I just have habit stacked it into my life.
Yeah.
And it's become something I don't think about.
And
like brushing your teeth.
And Lauryn, you identify yourself. And you could tell from your early episodes, from when you first started, you've identified yourself as someone who is confident and successful. No wonder you are where you want to be today, because that's your identity. You have to have the identity before the life creates itself around you. That's the biggest trick to transformation, is realizing that you need to become the version of yourself that has it before the life happens. You need to be her before.
You're so right, though, about people should stop relying on discipline. I've never been able to articulate like that. It's not discipline. Discipline, like, sure, it can get you places. I'm not going to say it can't, but it's much more than discipline, and it's easier almost. It's more simple. It's like just habit stack it into your life.
Yes.
I'll give you one right now. Every time before I go to the gym, every day, I make 2 amino acids with a scoop of creatine. I don't even think about it anymore. That's such a stupid little thing. But if you can create those moments throughout your whole day.
Yes.
And then I make my kids one, and they get it. It's like you just keep doing little tiny things that, like, if you associate the gym with the aminos and the creatine, it just comes naturally.
Yeah. The fastest way to change and the best way to maintain that change is to go to the root first. Is to go to who you believe you are, your identity. It's that sentence, I'm the kind of person that ... What do you put at the end of that sentence?
Right.
I can tell you that I am the type of person that loves myself and takes care of myself and prioritizes my health. And I'm also an abundant person. I like to make money and I'm good at it. That's my identity. Okay. I have beautiful relationships. I really put effort into the relationships in my life. That's my identity. Okay. So because that's my identity, I have beautiful relationships in my life. I make more money than I could ever imagine, truly. I have the life of my dreams. I have, really curated this beautiful existence. But the identity had to come first, because what happens, Lauryn, when you embody the identity of the version of yourself that you want to be, what happens is that you naturally start taking the action that she takes. This is not fluffy woo-woo manifestation. This is not that at all. This is actual science. This is neuroscience.
Anyone can do it. That's why I like an episode like this, is anyone can do it. This is accessible to anyone. You're almost retraining your mind.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And how unrealistic could your dreams be if someone else has done it?
And guess what? Even if someone hasn't done it, even better.
Even better.
I am the kind of person that's up for a challenge.
We need to make 2026 the year that every single person listening, okay, we all need to make 2026 the year that we have this relentless, intense belief in ourselves.
Go and get it. Anyone can go and get it.
We have to believe it's possible. We have to see it.
Anyone can get it. What's the next one?
So an example when it comes to changing your self-image, changing your life, is personal, actually. I can share this. So about a year and a bit ago, I thought to myself, okay, I went through a big weight loss journey like 5 years ago, and I felt really good and I maintained that. And then about a year and a bit ago, I was thinking, maybe it's time to kind of like up level a little bit more. I feel, a little bit run down. I feel like I could kind of tweak my body and my health a little bit and do this in a loving way. So I actually ended up losing a little bit more weight about, a year ago. And yes, it did coincide with my wedding happening 6 months ago. And it wasn't just for that. I just, not everyone wants to even lose weight, but I felt for myself that I wanted just to tone up a little bit, 5-10 pounds. So what I did is I went to the work that I know to be true. And I didn't actually make a big fuss about this. I didn't create this whole game plan and do a diet. I didn't do any of that. I barely actually changed anything. What I did do is I realized that my identity was very comfortable. My self-image was very comfortable in the weight that I was before. And again, I loved myself. I still love myself. It was not coming from a place of hate. That's very important to note for anyone trying to make a change in their life. Doing it from a place of love is a lot more sustainable. So what I did This was around the same time that we released this 3-minute activation on the app called Let Yourself Lose Weight. And I recorded it because that was a request that we were getting from some of our users. And I was like, okay. And I listened to it and I'm like, oh, like this is actually really, really an amazing activation. And I could just listen to this 3-4 times a week and see what happens. So what I did is I started listening to this specific activation that's only 3 minutes long, 3 to 4 times a week. And I just kind of leaned into this, being something that I'm very slowly working towards. It's just toning up, maybe losing 5-10 pounds, right? Didn't make a big fuss about it. Fast forward 6 to 8 months, like I really actually did lose that weight. And it's not magic. It's not because I listened to this activation. It's because my identity was rewiring. I started slowly, thinking about myself. Okay, maybe I am, becoming this version of myself that has more of these healthy habits, that maybe she doesn't eat late at night or isn't that into dessert anymore. And no restriction here whatsoever. I intuitively eat, I eat gluten, dairy, all of that. But it was these small, tiny changes that over time, I didn't care to lose 10 pounds in a month. That's not sustainable for me. I wanted to do this over a year period, ended up being less than a pound a month, but I just did it. And I listened to these activations. And whenever I journal, I'd say, yeah, I feel really healthy. I feel strong. I'm consistent with my workouts. This is my new identity. I started getting really consistent with my workouts. I started eating more protein and just enjoying the feeling of being in more of a fitness era. And fast forward, like I feel absolutely incredible. And I really think that this is the hack. Like it's not about hating ourselves to a body we love, to a life we love.
Well, that doesn't work. We all know that.
It doesn't work.
And I've done the same thing where I have said after baby number 1, I'm so fat, this weight can't come off. That does not work. The second you change your mindset, it starts to open your identity, like you're saying, and you stop with the snacks or you eat more protein, whatever it is. You are so right about that. Mm-hmm. If you are living in the narrative of I'm so fat, I feel like shit, I look like shit, it's your brain's listening.
Yeah. And it's going to be hard to make the quote good decisions, right? So I started noticing we'd go out for dinner and I, would always want dessert, and that's okay. Like if that's like, if I wanted to keep doing that, I'm happy to keep doing that. I don't want to, shame anyone at all for getting dessert. Listen, but in that time of my life, I wanted to, maybe eat a little less sugar. So what I did was I worked on the identity first, and then I would find myself out for dinner and Ben, my husband, would say, okay, like, do you want dessert? And I'd actually not even want it. Huh? It wasn't, this is the craziest thing. Like I wasn't like, oh, I shouldn't. No, it's like, nah, I'm indifferent. I don't really care for it. I literally started training myself to just not care. It was the weirdest thing, but this is what this work does. It's so subtle, but then so powerful. And it really changes you from the inside out, whatever goal you have, whether it's just getting healthier in general. It doesn't have to be weight loss. We have so many activations about health in general and vitality and just treating ourselves with love. It can be about, our business, our relationships, our finances, just our general confidence. It's these tiny little things we can do to just start showing up like that version of ourselves.
I also think just being aware of the voice inside your head is so powerful too. Just catching yourself when you're saying something negative, when you're about to close your eyes and you think, oh, I shouldn't have done this today, or I could have done this better. Like just shifting what you're about to go to bed with and sleep all night in your subconscious to something that's loving. I love myself. I love my husband. I love like whatever it is, just really, really almost reprogramming yourself before you close your eyes and go to bed. Because if you're just telling yourself how much you hate yourself all the time,
it's doing harm.
Yeah.
And that leads me to number 7. You've totally set me up here.
Perfect.
Number 7 is train your brain to notice opportunity.
Being aware.
Listen, if you listen to The Skinny Confidential, you probably have heard of the RAS. It's something that's quite known, the reticular activating system in your brain. Okay, well, the RAS is essentially this filtration system in all of our brains, right? And it filters what we consciously notice or don't notice. It is the filter to our subconscious, right? So if we didn't have the RAS, our brains would literally explode because there's so much information at all times around us, and it would just like blow up our brains. Like there's just too much, right? So what the RAS does and why it's so important is it filters information around you and just takes the important things to your conscious mind. But the thing is, how this RAS is programmed is up to you. It is aligned with your thoughts and your beliefs about yourself and the world. So if you deep down believe that you are a victim and that this big life could never happen to someone like you, if you deep down believe that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start finding reasons why that is true everywhere. And a more simplistic version of the RAS explanation is, if you're thinking of buying a blue car or a red car, you start seeing it everywhere. It's the same thing in your mind, right? If you start to believe that this type of life was destined for you, that you are inevitably going to become your best self this year, like you are in this forward projection. If you deep down believe that, you're going to start noticing opportunities that will bring you that life. And the wild thing, Lauryn, is that these opportunities were always there. We just didn't notice them. So whether you're doing this work or not, the opportunities are there.
Brad Everett's.
Is that your dad?
Yes.
Okay.
Is the most optimistic person on the planet. You could tell him he is the meme that the person's on fire, the house is on fire, and he's like, everything's great.
Oh my gosh, I love him.
No, it's
You're so
great.
lucky to have a dad like that.
Every single thing he turned positive my whole childhood. And he is such a good example of what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's listening. It's what you just said, but you said it way more eloquently and more scientific. He's done that his whole life, and it's really served him.
Beautiful.
He's never, ever, ever pessimistic about anything. You could tell him anything. He thinks I'm a star tennis player that's a supermodel that's like in movies.
I love that. Classic dad.
Yeah, very,
it's
my
gosh.
But he's very positive, and he does that.
I love that.
So that's really, really a great tip, and I love like the science behind it.
Yeah,
because it's fact.
And this kind of ties into what you were saying about what you watch, what you consume. Your RAS is noticing. Okay, so it's just like if you want to buy the new Dyson Airwrap, okay, you're going to start scrolling and seeing it everywhere. Like your RAS is always working. And it's the same thing as if you are watching a lot of negative content. Okay, you're going to start feeling more negative and noticing more negativity in the world around you. It's the same thing. The more you focus on something, that thing grows in your life. This is not woo-woo, fluffy, manifest. Like this is literal science.
I love wearing the classics. I think you can never go wrong. But most importantly, I love wearing classics that actually last, that feel good, that are functional as well, which is why I love Mids and Main. It's classic style meets modern performance, and it's classic menswear for the modern world. I think every man looks great in the classics, and as you age, I think it's even more important to have that handsome, classic, refined look, which is why I like Mids and Main so much. It's effortless. It's never been easier to look and feel your best with classic menswear from Mids and Main, and it's designed to help you achieve your version of success while making it look easy along the way. It's timeless, which is most important to me. Mids and Main designs classic dress shirts with modern performance fabrics that feel great today and look good for many years to come. One of their hero products is their Leeward dress shirt. It's the original performance fabric dress shirt. It comes in a fabric designed to perform for all occasions with multiple fits, lengths, prints, patterns, and silhouettes. You're guaranteed to find the perfect one for you. What I love about these shirts is they're functional. You can dress them up, you can dress them down, and they have this great stretch material as well as being machine washable. So you really get a bang for your buck. And like I said, you can wear them casual, you can wear them dressed, you can wear them on the weekend in the work, you can wear them out tonight. There's nothing worse than having an item that you wear one time and then don't get any use out of. What's great about Mids and Main is you can own a closet full of classic styles designed with modern performance fabrics so that you can mix and match with a million different outfits and looks so that you have tons of versatility. Of course, we have an incredible offer for our audience. Go to mizzenandmain.com and use promo code SKINNY20 to get 20% off your first purchase. Again, I get asked all the time, what do I wear? What do I like? It's Mizzen and Main. Mizzenandmain.com and use promo code SKINNY20 to get 20% off your first purchase.
All right, I have the best Valentine's Day gift. Are you guys ready? Bear with me. It's a BJ in a box. So you got to go to woomoreplay.com. This is limited edition. They only have it right now and it's selling fast, but you can get it for Valentine's Day. It is so funny. It's not a polo shirt. It's not cologne. It's a Valentine's Day gift he actually wants. A BJ in a box. It's a co-branded bundle from Woo and Twinkle Tongue. So it's basically the best blowjob of his life. Inside is edible coconut love oil. And then you have 6 twinkle tongue saliva enhancing packets designed to make things wetter and messier. When it sells out, it's gone for good. So go to woomoreplay.com. And don't worry, ladies, we have something for you too. The Let Me Eat Your box. It's another box. And this isn't a candle. It's not a purse. It's not chocolate. It's a co-branded bundle. And it has Woo's coconut love oil paired with an enhancement gel. Everything is designed for the pleasure of you and a partner. Go to woomoreplay.com to get 20% off today. Do you guys hear that? That's fresh, new, skinny, confidential drop. Okay, this has been something that I have been working on for the last year. Introducing face towels. Your skincare routine has been reimagined once again. There is no more using butthole towels on your face. There is no more using the towel that your boyfriend has used on his balls. You are going to be using the cleanest face towel on your face with no formaldehyde, no inks, no fragrances, no dyes, no BPA. Okay? Our towels are so thoughtfully designed. They're vegan, they're cruelty-free because your skin deserves the best. I, a long time ago, wrote a blog post about how a lot of people are washing their face and then they're drying their face with the same towels that they're using on their body. Or they're using a towel that maybe has a bunch of, detergent in it. So I wanted to create something that was fresh to remove your makeup, to remove your oil without irritation. I wanted it to be buttery soft. I wanted it to be 100% sustainable bamboo, silky soft. You never have to worry about buildup with these towels. It's just like a breath of fresh air for your face. So how I use them is 2 ways. The first way is I will cleanse my skin with an oil cleanser and then I'll exfoliate it. And I'll do this in the shower or in my sink. And then if I get out of the shower or I'm done with my sink, I'll take my towel and I'll pat it across my face and my neck to dry my skin off. My skin feels so much cleaner doing it with a facial towel than using some random towel that who knows where it's been. So if you want to support a healthy skin barrier and you want something really sensitive, especially if you have acne or you have hyperpigmentation, this has a really gentle texture. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm such a fan. I've been using them for a long time. I know you guys have maybe seen them in my Instagram stories. Each box includes 50 disposable face towels. And like I said, they're made from 100% sustainable bamboo. This is the travel size. It's like a little box that you can throw in your makeup bag. And then we also have the one that can sit on your vanity. It's a box that you want out. It's so cute. It's baby pink. And I should tell you, the towels are shaped like a doily. So that's fun too. Go to shopskinnyconfidential.com to grab your face towels today.
What do you say when people say this is woo-woo?
Well, I'm not a super duper, woo-woo spiritual person. Like, I'm actually very pragmatic. So when I first started trying to change my life, I would read a bunch of books on neuroscience, on changing your brain, on how to actually hack, transformation through like science-backed tips, right? And the more I got into this work, the more I saw these synchronicities between the more like science-y side of things and also more of the manifestation-y spiritual side of things. And actually learning about the science-y side of things made me feel a little bit more spiritual. It's kind of funny because I said this actually on the last episode I did with you, and the clip went viral online. It was talking about how whether it is, a Christian calling it prayer, a spiritualist calling it manifestation, an atheist calling it the placebo effect, whatever, a psychologist calling it self-image psychology, whatever it is, it's kind of the same thing in different words. You see a lot of synchronicities when you study all the different types of work. When it comes to how to change your life, it's all kind of saying similar things. And that's the truth that I'm looking at. I'm very fluid in my beliefs, actually, because I like to learn a lot. I'm very open-minded. But what I've seen is the constant between all of these different modalities is this work, is if you embody her, you become her. It's a matter of time.
I am really woo-woo. Always have been.
Yeah.
Came out of the womb like this.
Love it.
But I'm also pragmatic about it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I try to mix together. but I get called woo-woo all the time, and I'm just going to lean into it because I am woo-woo.
I get called
I
woo-woo
know
all the time
it's
too.
a mean word. I'm into it.
I don't think it's mean.
I'm rebranding it.
I don't
now.
think it's mean at all.
Here and now it's rebranded. I'm going to make it positive.
Wait, don't you have that lube company called Woo?
Yeah, but that's not that.
Okay.
Woo is like,
because we made it sexual.
If you want to do woo woo,
Yeah.
yes,
Woo,
I'm
woo,
a
woo.
partner in woo, but
Yeah.
that is not woo woo. But I
No,
am
for
woo-woo.
sure.
And I think we should rebrand it.
Let's do it. I've never seen it as a bad thing.
I love being woo woo.
I
I have antennas.
yes.
Sorry.
Be into it, but intuition. This is the crazy thing. When I was writing my book 2 years ago, it came out last year, Activate Your Future Self. When I was writing this,
It's so good. You guys should go get it.
Oh, thank you. When I was writing this book, I had to do a lot of research, right? And I had to really make it like, science backed, because that's what the publishers wanted. So like the back of it has all these, references and everything. But the wild thing is that so many things that people call woo are actually science backed. For example, we all have like energetic fields around our bodies that have been measured. People are like, oh, you're talking about the energetic field. It's actually a thing. and that's full of your energy. And
You think sometimes that what I've realized is I don't want to project my woo woo onto anyone. I just need to stay grounded in it and just know that this is my interpretation and you're allowed to have your interpretation and he's allowed to have his.
Yeah.
And like, I don't need to project how I feel onto anyone. This is just how I'm going to live my life, and everyone should do what they're going to do with their life. But that I think is, and I'm sure you've experienced it too, is because when you find something that works, you want to like scream it from the rooftops. And it's hard to balance not projecting it with staying grounded.
that is such a good point, because so many people are going to just believe in what they want to believe in.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, everything that we believe serves us in a way.
But how many people have you ever seen change their political views? And what I mean by this is, let's say I have a political view and I'm screaming it from the rooftops and putting it on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. How many of those people in those comments are actually being changed? Not a lot. So my thing is like, people are going to, I don't want to like projectile all of my thoughts and beliefs onto someone. I just want to stay grounded in them. And that's taken me a long time to sort of know that finesse.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's very powerful to hold things close to your heart, and you don't work in politics. You don't need to share with the world.
Politics is a bad example.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
but I just mean like, if I have a belief about something, I think sometimes you're like, to stay grounded in it and not, project is the word I keep going to, like forcing other people to feel what I feel.
I don't think you ever need to force, right? And with my work, I just feel so passionate about inspiring people, because when I speak, I'm speaking to the young Mimi. I'm speaking to Mimi 8 years ago.
You can feel that with your content. You can feel it.
Yeah, no, it's very emotional. It doesn't feel forced.
Grounded.
It's very emotive, and it's very aliveness driven.
But it's a finesse.
Yeah, listen, there's always going to be someone that wants to force. You just have to stay grounded. With our content, though, I feel like it's only an inspiration. And if people are tuning in, it means that they connect in some way and see a bit of themselves in us.
That's what we hope this episode does.
So your RAS, reticular activating system.
Yes,
you train that.
RAS.
You literally train your RAS with everything that you consume, what you're listening to. Okay, if you listen to more positive podcasts and things that make you feel good, and you listen to the people around you, okay, that tell you you can do it, or you listen to content that inspires you, that shows you what is possible, you're going to naturally, organically start to believe in yourself more, because you're surrounded by those positive ideas that you can actually change, that you can actually become the best you possible. The opposite's true. If you're constantly taking in content, whether it's online or in person, from people telling you that it's not possible, that's unrealistic, to stay in your lane,
I think too, it's important to take accountability for the content you consume. And what I mean by that is there is ways to sort of curate it. And like for me, that involves starring what inspires me.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's like Louise Hay or Robert Greene or Jim Rohn, like you can star what comes into your ether. And I also will go as far as if I see something I don't like on Instagram, I'll say not interested. So it doesn't serve me that anymore. And I think that if we're going to have all these different things like an Instagram or a TikTok or a Facebook, taking it into your own hands and taking severe accountability for how much we're on your phone, like how you use Opal, or for having bookends on your day of when you get on and when you get off. It's like really important to do that audit. So true.
It's all about how we feel when we consume certain content. I don't like scary movies. Like I don't really watch that kind of stuff. I personally just want to be consuming things that make me feel good. And
you're high vibration.
I'm high vibration.
And you said I would like number 8.
Okay. Well, that was number 8. I actually changed it.
Well,
sorry.
That's okay.
Because you were talking about that, so I wanted to talk about
okay.
it. But I think you're also going to like this new number 8. Number 8 is you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with most.
Yep.
You know this one. I really believe in this one. It's one of the most low-hanging fruit things that anyone listening can do this year is to audit their social circle and try to adjust it to be more aligned with the life they want to live. It's one of the most powerful things, especially if you're wanting a lot of change in your life and you're kind of at the beginning of your journey. Who you surround yourself with matters, because if the people around you, kind of like in the same vein as I was just discussing, like if the people around you are telling you things are not possible, that you're cringe for wanting to start your own business or start posting or whatever it is, that, you know, settling is fine and whatever it is that they believe, if you hang around those types of thinkers, then you're inevitably going to be an average of those people that you spend the most time with. And it's just how we live as human beings. We want to connect with people. We want to feel like we are, you know, aligned with our social community. So it's very difficult to do something different if everyone around us is sticking in these unhealthy habits, mindless scrolling, gossiping types of lives. So doing an audit of your friend group, of your social circle, is a really, really important one.
I tune my social circle like an instrument. And I don't mean that to be mean. Listen, it's you have to have a high expectation of, and I'm not saying like cutting people off. That's not what I'm saying. I just think that, I don't know if boundaries is even the right word. I just think it's important to not only edit the content you're consuming, but to edit your life.
Yes. Yes.
And even when you have kids, even more so, because for me, like I said, I want to be with my kids. And so the people around me need to be able to fit into that equation. I don't think that's asking too much. I would hope someone asked the same of me. Come high vibrating or don't come at all.
True. And it's tough. Listen, like there are a lot of good people that don't align potentially with your circle that you want to be in. It doesn't mean that they're bad people. They just might want different things out of life.
And by the way, that's okay. Wanting different things is totally fine. Like you don't have to want the same things as each other, and not one doesn't have to be better than the other. You know,
No.
It's just it's a fork in the road.
Yes. But it's true that you are an average though. If everyone around you eats very unhealthily, drinks every weekend, parties, it's going to be really hard for you to get out of that. I remember a decade ago when I first started doing this work, all my friends were just party friends. And it doesn't mean they were bad people. They were just party friends. And I felt like to fit in, I had to go and drink and party. So I actually really had to have this time of maybe being in between friend groups and hanging out less with those people that would just go out and drink all the time and not feel happy and inspired every day, for people that more so felt that way. And there was a period of time where I actually didn't have real human like friends that necessarily like aligned with this inspirational energy that I wanted in my life. Maybe I had one or two, but it was a lot of content that I would consume online. I remember at the beginning of my journey, I'd, you know, watch Tony Robbins seminars on YouTube and like consume content and books from people that inspired me, because that was like the people I wanted to be surrounded by. So there are some moments you have to kind of go through like that.
Makes sense. I think Naval Ravikant says, surround yourself with geniuses, sages, children, and books.
That's beautiful. Okay, the last point, number 9.
Drum roll, get ready.
have an investor's mentality towards your life.
Yes.
Not just with your finances,
Yes.
okay? Have an
Go off.
investor's mentality towards your life. Every single thing compounds, not just money. So it's those tiny habits. We keep drilling in the same points in different ways. Hopefully you listening right now can hear this message. Have an investor's mentality. The decisions you make, okay? The habits that you want to adopt, those things are all you making a decision for your future. They might be a little bit uncomfortable at first, but you're going to see the compound happen. Just like with money, if you invest $5 a month for X amount of years, you see that bell curve. The same thing happens when it comes to your habits, what you listen to every day, what you consume, the people in your life, how you choose to live. So just remembering that these small daily habits are going to compound and your life could literally be unrecognizable in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. You just need to adopt this investor's mentality, not just with finances, but with every area of your life.
That was a good one. 9 ways. The last one was my favorite.
Yes. Yes.
The
the
last
investor's mentality was your favorite.
The last one was my favorite. I would tell everyone to go run to Mimi's app. It's called Activations. I am a fan. I think it's a really great way to start the new year off fresh along with these 9 tips. I thought each of them were amazing. You can head to activations.com/skinny and you guys gave them a free 14-day trial.
Yeah, so we wanted to offer a long trial because you can feel quite a big shift in that time. And for everyone listening, Activations is a new type of audio. If you haven't necessarily resonated with meditation or you just want something else to listen to in your daily life that allows you to habit stack and listen with your eyes open, Activations are an inspiring audio that you can listen to in your everyday life. So in 14 days, you can really feel a difference. And we also just dropped a bunch of challenges for the new year. So we have like a 7-day manifestation challenge, a 10-day That Girl challenge, a 5-day money mindset challenge. So even if you just want to go take advantage of the 14-day trial and do one of the challenges and see how different you feel, that would just be, a really great way to start your year off fresh.
And they made a playlist of my favorites.
Yes.
Definitely go listen to that. Activations.com/skinny and go. I loved your book. I think that's really important
thanks.
to say too. You guys can get her book on Amazon and tell us where to follow you.
Yeah, so my book, Activate Your Future Self, my debut book came out last year and it's just on Amazon, Activate Your Future Self. And my name is Mimi Bouchard. I'm not always on Instagram, but sometimes I am, so feel free to find me there.
She's not on Instagram because she's living her real life.
I'm
being
romanticizing
present.
life. I
Yeah.
don't want to feel numb. I want to feel alive.
I expect to see you in 2 years.
See you in 2 years.
Yeah, and it'll be like crazy. You'll be
I'll be levitating.
Thank you.